Meet the Xennials. Born between 1976 and 1985, they're not quite Gen X, not quite Millennials. They're the forgotten micro-generation stuck in between. Xennials had an analog childhood. No smartphones. No internet until high school or college. They played outside until the streetlights came on. But then everything changed. They became adults right as the digital revolution exploded. They had to adapt or get left behind. This makes them psychological bridge builders. They understand life before and after technology took over. They can relate to both older and younger generations. Xennials remember writing letters by hand, but also sent their first emails in college. They used encyclopedias for homework, then discovered Google. They experienced true freedom as kids. No GPS tracking, no social media documenting every moment. Parents had no idea where they were half the time. This created a unique psychological profile, independence mixed with adaptability. Self-reliance combined with tech savviness. Psychologically, they're more optimistic than Gen X, but more skeptical than Millennials. They saw the dot-com bubble burst. They watched 9/11 change everything. They entered the job market during economic uncertainty. Too young for the Gen X opportunities. Too old for the Millennial startup boom. But this struggle built resilience. Xennials learned to hustle without entitlement. They adapted to every technological shift without complaining. Their social skills are different too. They had real face-to-face friendships before social media. They know how to have conversations without screens. Yet they're comfortable with online communication. They bridge the gap between phone calls and text messages, between meeting in person and connecting digitally. Psychologically, they value authenticity over perfection. They didn't grow up with Instagram filters. They remember when photos were just real. Their work ethic combines old-school loyalty with modern flexibility. They'll put in the hours but expect work-life balance. They respect hierarchy but question outdated systems. Xennials also carry unique anxieties. They worry about being replaced by younger workers who code better, but also dismissed by older workers who see them as too young. They experience the last era of true privacy. They understand what it's like to have moments that weren't documented and posted online forever. This shapes their parenting style. They give their kids more freedom than helicopter parents, but more structure than their own Gen X parents gave them. Financially, they're squeezed. Student loans, rising housing costs, raising kids while helping aging parents. The sandwich generation pressure is real. But they're masters of adaptation. They survived Y2K panic, the 2008 recession, and now they're navigating AI replacing jobs. Nothing surprises them anymore. Their music taste reveals their psychology too. They loved grunge, hip-hop, and pop-punk. Music that was raw, real, and rebellious before everything became overproduced. Xennials remember when entertainment required effort. You had to wait for your favorite show, rewind VHS tapes, record songs off the radio. Patience was built in. This taught delayed gratification, a psychological trait that's rare now. They can wait for things because they had to as kids. They also developed strong problem-solving skills. No YouTube tutorials, no Google. If something broke, you figured it out yourself or asked someone who knew. Socially, they value deep connections over superficial ones. They had fewer friends but knew them better. Quality over quantity before it became a cliché. Their relationship with technology is complex. They appreciate its convenience but miss the simplicity of life before constant connectivity. They're digital immigrants who became fluent natives. They remember the transition. That perspective makes them invaluable in workplaces bridging generational gaps. Psychologically, Xennials are defined by duality. Optimistic but realistic. Independent but collaborative. Traditional but progressive. They contain contradictions. They witnessed the birth of the internet age without being consumed by it as children. This created a healthy skepticism of technology's promises. They remember when mistakes stayed private, when embarrassing moments faded from memory instead of living forever online. This shapes how they handle failure differently. Xennials are the bridge generation. Not better or worse than others, just uniquely positioned between two worlds, and that perspective is their superpower.